for the high temperature on Wednesday. Boaters, the prevailing winds in the afternoon will be onshore. There'll be a light southeasterly breeze in the morning. Seas will be running 1 to 2 feet. As we look ahead now, the 7-day planner, I still see a little bit of a downward trend in thunderstorm activity on Friday and Saturday. So I'm going to take the icon down to just partly cloudy those days. It's not impossible we wouldn't see maybe 1 or 2 pop up, but mainly some drier weather Friday, Saturday. But don't worry, that won't last too long. We'll be back in the thick of it by Sunday. That's your forecast.
Tax-free municipal bonds, corporate bonds, and U.S. Treasury bonds are the investment foundation for many retirees. Well, as the stock market bounced around for the last few years, bond portfolios remained pretty steady, producing a competitive income and a little growth. That ended, though, last month. Jim Nolte from Wells Fargo is here. And Jim, what happened in May that caused a substantial drop in the bond market?
Well, I have to say May was a little bit of a surprise. Not the fact that interest rates were creeping up a little bit, but how dramatically the bond market reacted. Now, first of all, the bond market is huge, much larger than the stock market. There's so many different types of bonds out there. We have municipal bonds, corporate bonds, we have treasury bonds. Now, one of the components of the fluctuations in bond prices is maturity. So we have long-term bonds and intermediate-term bonds and short-term bonds. Bond prices move when interest rates move up or down. And I think that's very important to understand. This is called an inverse relationship. It's a lot like a teeter-totter. One side goes up, the other side goes down. So let's talk a little bit about interest rates in the United States. In 1982, interest rates peaked. Now that was when CDs were yielding double digits, and so were corporate bonds. And for the next 30 years, interest rates went down, and we had a 30-year bull market in bonds. Now, currently, bond rates are unfortunately very close to zero. Now, during the last 30 years, the total return on intermediate bonds was around 9% per year. That's wonderful, but the big question on